The playoffs are here, and you can predict the action all the way to the finals with FanDuel Predicts. Predict the spread, the total points, and even the game-winning moments that make the playoffs. Sign up and get a $25 bonus with FanDuel Predicts.
Offered by FanDuel Prediction Markets, LLC, a registered futures commission merchant. 18-plus bonus is non-withdrawable and expires 7 days after receipt. Trading derivatives involves significant risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Manage your activity with their consumer protection tools. Restrictions apply. See terms at FanDuel.com/predicts/bonus-offer-terms.
Listen, all you New Yorkers. Excuse me, taxi.
Okay, we're looking around.
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
Well, lots going on with Iran, and joining us now, who better than our next guest, General Jack Keane. He is a retired four-star general. He's the chairman of the Institute for the Study of War and also a Fox News senior strategic analyst. He's got it all, John.
Well, and General Jack Keane, what the heck is going on? Give us your pulse of the situation.
Yeah, sure. I think, we're 3 weeks plus into the ceasefire, and I think it's pretty evident now that Iran's never going to put a deal in front of President Trump that's going to be acceptable to him. And I don't think that's Iran's objective to begin with. I really think what they want here is to drag these negotiations out so there's more political and economic pressure put on the president to force him into major concessions. Number one, just stop the war entirely. Or number two, make some major concessions that President Trump isn't willing to do now. And I don't see either one of those happening. Frankly, I think we're getting much closer based on the assessment likely that took place yesterday in the White House, which was, kind of the question you just asked, where are we? That's what they were asking themselves. And I think where we're likely going to be is moving back into combat operations to finish what we started. We finished up about 2 weeks short, or 25% of things still to go. And I think that's probably the right course of action. Also maintain the blockade while we do it and move back into that. We've given these guys plenty of opportunity here to make a proposal that's reasonable, and they're just not going to do it. And I don't think the answer would be just keep the blockade on while they have shut down the Straits of Hormuz and wait these guys out. And the reason I say that is you got to remind ourselves who these people really are. They only want to stay in power. And even though the blockade has significant economic impact on them, and if it continued long term, it would likely force an economic collapse in Iran. But in the meantime, what they're capable of doing, because they don't care about the people, they don't care about the suffering, they don't care whether they're on gas lines or whether there's electricity out in certain parts of the country. All they care about is surviving and staying in power. So based on that, I don't think just the status quo of maintaining a blockade and forcing them economically to surrender, so to speak, or to make a deal that's acceptable to the president, I don't think that'll happen because they don't care about their people.
So, Jack,
I think we have to go back into combat operations.
So what do you think should be in that next phase, the combat operations, the 2 weeks short? What do you think needs to be done?
Well, there's a little bit of most things. In other words, certainly ballistic missiles. There's about 1,000 of them left and about 100 or so launchers. Excuse me. And then, of course, there's the drone inventory itself. Now, they've been recovering some ballistic missiles in these last 3 weeks that have been underneath rubble. But the good news is they haven't been able to manufacture anything new because we destroyed the manufacturing capability. We destroyed the manufacturing capability to make drones as well. But there's still some of that inventory out there, and that'll likely be pursued. Plus, we have to make a decision on the nuclear enrichment that remains and some of their capabilities. We would either make a decision to destroy what's left or actually conduct an operation to evacuate it, which is more risk, obviously, involved in that kind of an operation. But those are the things that would really be on the table here in terms of finishing up our assigned objectives. The good news, John and Rita, is we have been moving capability into the region since the war started. So when U.S. military command in the Middle East starts back up, they have twice the capability now that they had when they started the war, which is really something. And also the Israelis are flush with the munitions, given some of the shortages that they have, so they've recovered. So I think the operation would go about as quickly as it could. It would start out slow because we want to make certain we still have air supremacy, and we'll make certain we have that and destroy whatever air defense systems have been recovered, and then go full throttle. I think that's likely the best course of action to get the objectives achieved that President Trump wants.
General, last question, because we got to move on to the next thing. How far away? We got drones, which is a new warfare. How far away are we from the movies, Terminator Man?
Well, I don't know anything about the movie, John, so you got me at a loss here.
Well, I'm talking about
the movie.
robots fighting the foot war.
Yeah, okay. Well, we're quite a ways from that. But listen, think of this. Autonomous systems are dominating the war on the ground in Ukraine. They're dominating the war in the air in Ukraine, and they're dominating the war at sea. They pushed back the entire Russian Navy, sunk 35 ships, just drones. And these are autonomous drones that are either on the surface or beneath the surface. So, yes, we're on a pathway, certainly. Drones are fighting drones right now in the air, and it's happening in this war we're dealing with Iran. They're sending the one-way drones in to some of our bases and to where our allies are defending, and they're using drones to shoot them down. We have a U.S.-made drone by Eric Schmidt of Google fame, Perennial Autonomy, that we moved into the Iranian war. We've been using it in Ukraine. It's called Merops, and it's taken down thousands of these one-way drones that the Iranians make, the Shahid drones that has been used so successfully against the Ukrainian population, and also has been used against allies and partners and bases here in this war. But there's drones taking out drones.
Wow.
And that's a path that we're already on. And eventually, the hardest thing for autonomous vehicles, John and Rita, is to operate on the land, because the land has crevices in it. It has rocks and boulders. The air is smooth and the sea is relatively smooth, but land is not. So getting the drones to operate robot vehicles, we are using them along roads as logistic vehicles and things like that, but actually getting them to fight, we're getting closer to it, certainly. And you're right. Yep. That is the path we're on. I can't put a date on it, but as I indicated, it's already taken place.
A friend of mine is trying to sell them to the Pentagon right now, General.
Yes.
So they're going to be sooner than later. Initially they were marketing them as home nurses.
Now they're doing a little bit more than that. Wow, General, thank you. Thank you, General. We love having you, Jack.
Real soon.
Thank you. Right. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Born on America's darkest day of 9/11, the Tunnel to Towers Foundation has been helping America's heroes ever since. Heroes like FDNY Lieutenant Edward J. McDonough Jr., a Marine Corps veteran and lifelong public servant. After 9/11, McDonough served at Ground Zero. He later lost his life to a related cancer, leaving behind his wife Kimberly and their 5 children. Tunnel to Towers honored his sacrifice by paying off the family's mortgage. Donate $11 monthly and amplify your impact with a car or land donation. Go to T2T.org today.